We got a good day today. It's nice and bright outside. Good day to talk. When it comes to the rules with copyrights, the statute of limitation is 75 years from the last filing. That means that something that has been released can be used assuming 75 years have passed since the last time it was filed. So if somebody created something 74 years ago, and let's say a family member or a company that has ownership over the rights of this piece of music decides to file it again in their name, they basically renewed the filing, which means another 75 years before you can use something. That's not a bad thing, that's just how the rules work in America. That being said, there are a lot of records that are released every year for free because it's public domain, which means you can use those records because they're public domain music. And where do you find those? The Library of Congress. Now remember, just because you can use it doesn't mean that you shouldn't give proper credit, and you have to give proper credit. There is a whole write-up on the Library of Congress's website about what kind of credits you need to put down. But at the end of the day, it is public domain and you can have at it. And let's have some fun with it. I have a couple of records that I've already downloaded to check out from the Library of Congress, but we are going to use one of them and we're going to see what we can come up with out of it. Now, mind you, 75 years ago, you're looking at records that were very poorly recorded. So I've actually gone through the process of doing some renovations on the records, removing some of the clicks and pops. That's why I'm going to use one that I already have. But I'm going to play you something directly from the Library of Congress so you can hear how it naturally sounds before any kind of restoration. And then we're going to chop up the one that I actually have ready for us to play with.
I just received a cable from my ancestral home. It tells me I'm the great Gazoo successor to the throne. I just received a cable dispatch from my ancestral home. It tells me I'm the great Gazoo successor to the throne. My throne will be a bungalow. I just received a cable. I just received a cable dispatch from my ancestral home. It tells me I'm the great Gazoo. I just received a cable dispatch from my ancestral home. I just received a cable dispatch from my ancestral home. It tells me I'm the great Gazoo successor to the throne. My throne will be a bungalow way up in the trees, where I'll be the ruling monarch.
It's a lot cleaner than the way I had it before. I'm going to listen to it one more time. I'm going to pitch it down a little bit in Serato Studio before I bring it into the MPC just to see if there's anything I want to change. But now that I have a clean sample that's been layered and stacked and most of the noise has been removed, you have more to be flexible with. So let's try hearing it a couple of different ways. Oh, and the other half of the problem is I have the wrong tempo. Let's change the tempo. It's too fast. to switch it up a little bit more. Actually, let me try one other thing before I make my final decision. Nah, I don't like that. Okay, so we're gonna stick with the plan. Let's get it into the 1000. Oh, you know what? One thing I need to try before I bring it into the 1000, because I completely forgot that I have this plugin, and it might actually make a huge difference. So Universal Audio released a free version of the 1176 compressor, and this thing works magic. So I'm going to push the levels into it just a little bit more. I'm going to speed up the attack and the release. Not because I want everything, I just know the pieces that I want to use and manipulate. All right, I think we're ready to record. All right, so we're going to keep this. We're just going to call it old stuff. Yes, stuff. That was the word I was going for. So we have. I'm going to chop and I'm going to do 16, not because I want 16, but because I know the pieces I want to use. I could do this into one program. The problem with that idea is that if I did that, I'll end up with 22 chops across multiple pads, and I really just want to keep it all on one. So to make my life easy, even though it may not seem that way, I'm just going to edit out and extract the pieces I want. So one, I still ended up spilling over into the other side, but that's okay. Apparently I used way more pieces than I thought. All right, I like that. So now let's get some drums. I probably have too much stuff in here, but space-wise, it really doesn't matter. I have so much space left over for memory, so I'm not that worried about it. Here we go. Normally I label things, but I'm not in a labeling mood. So you get the idea. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I enjoyed playing with that. It's actually a great practice to play around with some of these type of samples, and knowing that there's no copyright strike or anything that I have to worry about for this is actually pretty interesting. For cleanup of the record, I use a couple of Waves plugins. Certain Waves plugins like the X-Hum, the X-Noise, the NS1, they're actually really good at helping to remove the clicks, pops, and hisses, and then you can fill those gaps with other plugins if you know what you're doing. That's the creative process. I'm not going to tell you what I'm using to do that, but you should try it out, and I think you guys are going to enjoy that and have fun with that. And again, like I said, these types of practices make you a better producer because you're dealing with troubleshooting a problem and then creating something amazing out of it. Have fun, enjoy, and I can't wait to hear what you guys make.